Hello everybody and welcome to episode 38 of the Train Sim News Show. It's 4:30 in the morning-ish, and I might as well just record now. It's a bit of a slow day, and a bit of a slow week to be quite honest, and the cat's messing around behind my leg. Thank you very much. I don't even know if this episode's going to reach 10 minutes, but, you know, we'll give it a bit of a try. See what we can do. Yeah, let's move on to news. Let's start with something simple. The Armstrong Powerhouse have taken in some criticism and have fixed up the bindings on the Class 68 and Class 31 enhancement packs. Now you can turn on the electric train supply without it conflicting with the screenshot button. Thank you very much, it's definitely appreciated. Just re-download and reinstall and it should all be working fine. Alongside that, we now have more information regarding the Class 37 that they're working on. It's now going to be split up into multiple volumes. Yay! Just what the doctor ordered. It's really funny, isn't it? The Class 40 made by Railright and sold through the Armstrong Powerhouse, with them obviously helping with the sounds, is released with literally every single variant it was ever built in. Oh, bar one, because that was just kicked up on Steam, lol. But regarding the Class 37, nah, we gotta split it up into X amount of volumes. I haven't got an idea how many. It could either be 2 or potentially 3, or maybe they'll find a way to make it 69 volumes. But, you know, it's just greed to me. Me being not the biggest fan of the Class 37 might have something to do with it. But isn't this a really great way of how they treat their potential customers and their current customers? Very lines not too long ago. Here's a upgraded Class 37, everybody likes it and makes reskins for it, and then the Armstrong Powerhouse come along and say, psych! We're actually making our own 37 with all the potential liveries included, so oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going over me. But yeah, you can see what I think of this. Get that crap out of my screen, let's move on. And it's time to give some freeware praise once again, because I have found something I really like. By sheer luck, one day, via some Google searches, I randomly stumbled across some nice assets to utilise in Train Simulator, the ones I was using in the stream. That being these lovely animated ticket barriers for Train Simulator. It also includes the control unit and the glass barriers surrounding them. They were made by a Mr. James Class 37. I'm not going to throw very much dirt to him because they're free, easy to download, easy to use, and just overall fantastic. I love them. Well, okay, I don't love them, but I like them. I can at least give you a bit of feedback. The colouring of them looks a bit off, specifically the white on the main body. As you can see in these pictures of them in real life, they're more a bit chrome and shiny. But other than that, it's really nice, I like them. He's even provided some non-functional versions, which allows you to add some character to your route. He's also included some London Overground and Southern stop markers. It doesn't include every single possible variant, so for example it didn't include a 5 to 12 or a 6 to 12 version, which is the ones I was kind of looking for, but Southern is on my route, so I'm using them, and they look great. He's also included some other stop markers for like 172s, 378s and 710s, the ones that would be used on Overground. Of course, I'm not going to use them because I'm not building an Overground route because I'm not sad. But mind you, it does come up to one kind of funny realization. How funny would it be if a Class 710 was made and released onto Train Simulator before the real thing was even running in service? Because it's still not in service, by the way. What a joke. I mean, I've gone past Tysley not too long ago, and I saw a few Class 172s that have been transferred there already. It's a complete farce. Seriously. I'm going to be linking those in the description if you want to give them a try out. I like them. They work fine. That's what gives you the MHD thumbs up of approval. Not like it existed in the first place. And now it's time to talk about our good old friends at Just Trains, who aren't actually my friends, far from it. But yeah, Just Trains released a new route, the Cornish Main Line from Plymouth to Penzance. And this route differs from most of the other content that they've shoveled out in the fact that it's decent. It's by far the best Just Trains route they've made. This doesn't count. And I'm not saying this because I've changed my opinions on them. No, of course not. No, it's more of a sense of, look at all these images I've taken from the route which I'm showcasing here. More of the stations have custom models and don't have jaggedy looking awkward platforms. The platform textures look nice. There's no ballast on Brunel's bridge, stuff that you would expect of the days of old Just Trains. And even small little details such as tilted signage, trackside scenery, and some brand new stop markers for the HST castle sets and IETs. Oh my goodness, this route looks decent! I'm driving on it without throwing up or uninstalling it on the spot. I am completely at shock, but not in a bad way, in a good way, because this could be a sign, along with the upcoming London Underground S8 stock, which I've heard good things about, that Just Trains have potentially found that ladder out of the gravel pits and into the realm of half-decent quality content.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
However, don't be fooled. As much as I am impressed by the improvement of quality compared to Just Trains add-ons of old, it's still a Just Trains route, remember, so there are things like twitchy track laying and the tunnel at Devonport. As you can see here, the darkness has just given up halfway through. I don't blame it if it's going around this area, but it's still an element of Just Trains route building that just hasn't gone away. You know, you're asking for a bit much. Another problem with this route, which is also worth mentioning, is that there is a lack of quick drive routes available. You can only start from Plymouth or Penzance. There's no AI, so fair enough, but still, would starting from Par be a bit too much to ask? I also have another criticism with this route. No new rolling stock. Yes, the exact same criticism I had with the Chiltern Main Line is still in force here. Now you may be looking at me and saying, Daniel, you're asking for a good route from Just Trains and for them to include rolling stock, isn't that a bit too much? Well, if it's like a good route from Just Trains, well yeah, maybe. But I'm gonna propose you a little scenario here, okay? Let's say this route was made by Dovetail. What train would they include with the route? Okay, apart from that, getting warmer. There you go, wasn't that hard? Yeah, at least Dovetail would include the Class 800/802, and let's be honest here, who's going to say no to that? I know there are some smart Alex here saying, well Daniel, the 801 exists. Yes, you're right, but the 801 is purely electric. The 800 and 802s are electro-diesels, making them one of the most versatile trains in the United Kingdom. Especially since they can switch from electric to diesel power on the fly, just like the good old Class 73. And you'd think it's taken this long for somebody to realise, why don't we make a train that works like that? But anyway, you can see the point I have here. If they included an IET with this route, specifically the 800 or 802, then that's another incentive for people to get this add-on. Even if nobody has any interest in driving from Plymouth to Penzance, I guarantee a whole bunch of people will buy that route just to get the 800. It's like back in the day where some, well, I can't remember the names of them, like a PS2 game had a demo of Metal Gear Solid 2, and people bought the game just to get the demo. It's sort of like that, only a bit more versatile. Oh, and the route is incredibly linear. You ain't branching off anywhere on this route unless you call St. Cain's Wishing Well Halt branching off. I mean, I guess it is, but yeah, I think that speaks for itself. No St. Ives branch, no Falmouth, no Newquay, no China Clay, no Gunners Lake, no Loo. What else can you expect, really? But I am giving the 2011 Barack Obama rage face of approval, just for the simple fact that it's the first Just Trains route that I can put my hand on my heart and say, it's decent. Could I recommend it? Perhaps. Though some people are going to be making comparisons to another route called Devon Rails, which is an ongoing extension of Dovetail's Riviera line. Some people are going to be looking to me and asking which one is better, and I'm not here to answer that question, because I think comparing the two is a bit unfair. On one hand, you have a payware route that is 100% original, and on the other hand, you have a freeware route which is an extension of the Riviera line that also has a lot of requirements and all. Mind you, unlike the Cornish Main Line, Devon Rails includes Gunners Lake, so make of that what you will. Oh, I forgot to say, you can also join this route up with the Western Main Lines. I personally don't have any plans of burning my computer, so I'm gonna just use it standalone, thank you very much. Okay, now we've finished off talking about just trains, let's move on to Wales! Oh no. I really don't want to talk about this, but, you know, you've all been waiting enough. Alright, here it goes. North Wales coastal extension to Holyhead sucks. There you go. I don't think that's really, too hard for you to believe. To be honest, I'm finding it harder to believe that in this episode, I'm giving more praise to a Just Trains add-on opposed to the Dovetail one. It's usually the other way around, but you know, Twilight Zone, I'll take it and leave it. But yeah, this route was already bad enough, but the extension just makes it even more of a joke in terms of quality. And this time, I wasn't alone. Whilst I was making this episode, I was approached by a Mr. Star Mix, who was kind enough to offer me a 3-course meal worth of inaccuracies regarding this route. And whilst I simply don't have enough time to go over all of them, there's also another problem. Steam deleted the chat history I had. Thank you very much. Even Skype was better. As annoying as this is, I fortunately remember a good majority of the inaccuracies he pointed out to me. So I'm gonna say this to him, that for all the inaccuracies that I missed off, just post them down in the comments below or in a paste bin, and I'll probably just pin the comment on the top so people can see what they've missed off. But without further ado, let's begin. Penmine Mar has no signal box at the end of the station. T. Crows does have a signal box, but the signals here are used to simply protect the level crossing and have no influence on the block whatsoever. Which also means it's not actually a signal box, it's a crossing box. Whoops-a-daisy. It's really nice that you got the slewed signal at the end of Clanvire, but Bryn go get a gun drobeth like the silly go go go, but it's just a shame that you had to reuse the crossing box from Crew. And speaking of reused signal boxes, Holyhead gets a reused, Bangor gets a reused, everybody gets a reused. And speaking of Bangor, isn't it nice that the driver knows what routing they're going on from this signal as they approach from Holyhead? Go on, take a guess what your routing is. I mean, you should know if you're routed into the platform, so it shouldn't matter. And if you derail, get good. Still staying at Bangor, the ever so reused stop signs are obscured underneath the shadow of the footbridge, and there's Transport for Wales signage and posters around. This is such an annoying inconsistency considering everywhere else on the route has Arriva Trains Wales signage. And worst of all, with the exception of Holyhead and Bangor, which just uses the glorious London to Brighton platform textures, every single new station uses the Swale platform textures.
You alright? Excuse me, no, I'm going to die now.
Is it this? Has this made you feel sick?
I was going to say, that's exactly what it is. I looked at that and it nearly killed me.
It is so awful.
Look, just tell me why. Please, I'll try and understand, but tell me why you use the Swale platform textures. You see, here's the mindset that I have. If Dovetail are going to be making short routes with extensions every once in a while, instead of long or non-linear network routes, the least they could do is make them look vaguely presentable and realistic, as in, to the standard of the West Coast Mainline Trent Valley. That should be the benchmark, the bare minimum. And in terms of rolling stock, if you're not going to be providing lots of trains to use, then again, would it be a bit too much to ask to have them to the same quality as, let's say, the APT? It would appear that my questions have already been answered with a solid yes, it is a bit too much to ask. The phrase of quality over quantity is only applicable when it suits them. I'm sorry, this route sucks, it's landfill. Though with that being said, that alone wasn't enough to stop me trying to do this. Make of that what you will. Again, many thanks goes to Star Mix for providing me all that information regarding the route. Most of those bits I wasn't even aware of. And when you get the chance, here's a hint for you. Email that to Dovetail. They do read your emails. They're not like the BBC where they just put them in the bin instantly. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, Danny's back. I just completely forgot to say it. Looks like he didn't quit after all. But next time he does quit, I'm just going to play the Willy Wonka clip, you know, stop, don't come back one. Okay, with that over and done with, second to last thing worth saying. I've decided to create a Facebook page. Not Facebook group, Facebook page. I've called it MHD's Miscellaneous Train Sim blog, and all I'm going to be using it for is showcasing pictures of my routes, the one that I'm building for Train Sim, maybe the odd modification I did here and there. Basically, I won't be talking about the Train Sim news show on it. It will be completely devoid of the news show, and just be about my routes, or any other miscellaneous bits and pieces. I mainly did it because, you know, some people just aren't interested in my new show, and that's fine. And plus, I like showcasing pictures of my routes. It's got nothing to do with sense of approval or anything, I just like showcasing the pictures, especially if I'm quite proud of a section that I've recently done. There's a few posts already that should give you an idea of what you'll be seeing, as well as a general Q&A and potential FAQ. So if you have any other questions regarding the route, you can ask them there, and I should hopefully be able to answer them for you. I'm not going to tell you, you know, like, follow, share around with all your friends, because you know what I am like. I'm the worst person for advertising. I don't care. I share something or advertise something once, and that's it. But that's the kind of person I am. So feel free to check it out if you want. I don't care if you do, and I don't care if you don't. Simple. And now, the last thing to talk about. It's not Train Simulator related, but it is train related. Put your hands up, anybody who's watched the Basil Brush show. Alright, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, Okay, that's not many people, fair enough then. Well, if you haven't watched it, the Basil Brush show was an early 2000s sitcom that kind of defined my humour style and childhood back in the day. I like it, and I still rewatch the episodes that are re-uploaded to YouTube now and then. It's a good laugh. Now, why am I telling you this? Am I trying to promote a new project I'm working on? No. Maybe. No, it's a no. No, the reason is, I was watching an episode of the Basil Brush show, and somebody makes an appearance in one of the episodes. Who is that, you may be asking? Paul Tireman! Yes, that Paul Tireman. And I'm not just making it out like he's appearing as a small cameo for 3 seconds. In the episode he appears in, which I think is the surprise party, he's there for a full minute with smart business attire, full lines, and exploitable lines, I should remind you.
Hi. Hello. I've left you some mustard samples. What kind of biscuits?
I was shocked rewatching this episode because, you know, I've seen this episode in the past. It's a good episode of the show, but I never noticed that was Paul Tireman. I will be providing a link to the episode in the description so you can have a mess about with if you're the kind of person who likes making Paul Tireman YouTube poops. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But there is a good chance the video will be taken down, so think fast and hurry up. If the video does get taken down, give me a shout and I'll try and find a mirror. I've actually downloaded all of the available episodes of the Basil Brush show, so I could even provide a mirror link if I wanted to. Not on YouTube. Oh no, I ain't risking this account. You know what the BBC is like. They don't provide people an option to download the episodes legitimately, so instead they'll just punish people only when it's suitable for them, which, you know, what else is new in this day and age? Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully if I get this episode done by the afternoon, it'll still be March, so I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. Oh yeah, I mean, unless you're American, because I think Mother's Day is different in the US. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, happy, not in the EU Day, except that's not even the case anymore. I'm gonna be going now. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Goodbye.